Namaste, I'm Prashant Sawant and you are watching the OnePlus 9 Pro 5G's 101. This year, OnePlus and Hasselblad collaboration has grabbed a lot of attention because Hasselblad is a famous Swedish camera company, and one of Hasselblad's more noticeable ventures was with NASA and the Apollo missions. On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong, Edwin E. Aldrin Jr. and Michael Collins reached the moon, and humans walked on another world for first time in history. Apollo 11 crew used Hasselblad cameras to capture iconic images of astronaut Buzz Aldrin on the moon, and one of the first steps taken on the moon of Buzz Aldrin boot print from the Apollo 11 mission. If Hasselblad is creative enough to work with NASA, then a new comrade can surely help OnePlus improve its camera systems, which has been average for a while. And about that, OnePlus is dropping $150 million over the next 3 years to improve their mobile cameras, and that's quite promising. So let's check out what's new they have come up with the OnePlus 9 Pro. On top of the box, you will see the OnePlus 9 Pro 5G's branding in the middle because it is only available in the 5G variant. And just below that, we have co-developed with Hasselblad branding on the front, which looks neat too. On the top left side of the box, you have Hasselblad's H logo, and on the bottom right side of the box, you will notice the OnePlus official logo, which looks okay. Then on the back side, you have package content and some other information about the phone has mentioned in a small font. And overall, it has minimalist packaging. And once we open the box right away, we are greeted with OnePlus's tagline "Never Settle" alongside the OnePlus 9 Pro, which comes either in Morning Mist, Pine Green and Stellar Black colors. Morning Mist color phone comes in a glossy glass finish, whereas Pine Green and Stellar Black color phones come in a gentle looking frosted matte glass finish, which looks nice. So now let's put this aside for a second to see what else we get inside the box. Below that, there is another slim white box, and it contains a silicone case to protect the phone, which is of good quality. And you also get safety information and warranty card, highest SAR value pamphlet, logo stickers, red cable club card, quick start guide and welcome letter, and a message from Pete Lau, founder, CEO and chief product officer of OnePlus. And below that, you also have SIM tray ejection tool. Now back to the main box, and we will see USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable, which comes in a red and white color. And I also love the way this cable looks, and it is by far my favorite charging cable. And below that, there is a Warp Charge 65 power adapter to charge your phone, and you get it inside the box, and that's great. Now that you have seen everything in the box, let's go ahead and check out the phone. The overall design layout of the OnePlus 9 Pro is not too different from the previous flagship phones. First, the OnePlus 9 Pro 5G got Corning Gorilla Glass 5 panels on the front and the back of the phone, and not the latest Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, which is quite disappointing because the OnePlus 9 Pro is the most expensive flagship smartphone to date. On the back of the phone, you have a quad camera module, and below that you can see the OnePlus's official logo in the middle, but OnePlus branding is missing from the bottom back. On front screen, you get pre-applied screen protector, which does seem to be of good quality. Also, the front and back glass curved less aggressively around the frame, and the palm rejection is quite good, and above that, it looks neat too. Moreover, it also has polyester aluminum frame around the phone, which is quite sturdy and premium. And it protrudes very nicely, which makes it more comfortable to hold despite its large size. OnePlus has done quite a good job here, so the overall design looks pretty nice and premium. Phone's right side, we have super useful 3-stage alert slider, and below that is a power on-off button. And on the left side of the phone, we have volume rocker. At the bottom of the phone, we have dual nano SIM slot, a primary mic, a USB Type-C port and a stereo speaker. This speaker grill and mic at the bottom and the earpiece and the secondary mic on the top combine and make dual stereo speaker, which delivers a crystal clear sound for a captivating and immersive listening experience. OnePlus OnePlus 9 Pro is 8.7mm thicker, 163.2mm taller, and 73.6mm wider, with a 20.1:9 aspect ratio that makes it one of the giant flagship phones, but it doesn't always feel like one. And it looks attractively thin, graceful and stylish. Furthermore, it also weighs 197 grams, but the weight of the phone is very well balanced. The OnePlus 9 Pro has 6.7 inches Fluid AMOLED 2.0 display, and it has more screen, slim frame, minimal bezel and no notch, just a tiny camera hole. And therefore, the screen comes in at a Quad HD Plus resolution of 3216 by 1440 pixels and has 525 pixels per inch. And it also offers an approximately 90% high screen to body ratio, and that offers a big immersive view with limited on-screen interruptions whether you are gaming, watching a movie or browsing the web. OnePlus 9 Pro also supports HDR10 Plus motion graphics smoothing, and with 10-bit color depth, the screen can display 1 billion colors. So it has excellent viewing angles, it is very sharp, and its vibrant colors are superb, which delivers a truly premium viewing experience. The display can achieve peak brightness up to 1300 nits for a colorful, glare-free view even in bright daylight. That means you will have no problem using this outdoors on a sunny day because it has one of the brightest smartphone displays on the market. Furthermore, the OnePlus 9 Pro comes with an LTPO technology that can dynamically adjust the refresh rate anywhere from 120Hz down to 1Hz based on the content you are watching. This adjustment in refresh rate delivers up to 50% less power consumption than the previous LTPS technology. The OnePlus 9 Pro's 240Hz touch sampling rate and the new HyperTouch technology give you better response time in gaming. And this can boost the syncing speed between the display and the processor for up to 360Hz, which is up to 6 times faster than before, resulting in snappier gaming controls. Now, HyperTouch is compatible with Call of Duty, League of Legends, PUBG, and Brawl Stars. And OnePlus is looking forward to support other titles in the future as well. Now let's get to the good stuff and have a close look at the OnePlus 9 Pro's Hasselblad quad rear camera. Firstly, up at the top, you get ultra-wide camera. It is a 50 megapixel Sony IMX766 sensor with f2.2 aperture and 14mm focal length, and it also has 7p lens. Conventionally, ultra-wide camera tends to have relatively small sensors, but OnePlus has improved the design to accommodate large sensor, which is interesting. Therefore, it has a 1/1.56 inches sensor size, and it is one of the largest sensors ever on OnePlus smartphone, which is 3 times larger than its competitor. So your shots will be brighter, cleaner, crisper, and richer in detail, even in low light. As well as it is excellent for dynamic range, and it is perfect for capturing super clean landscape photos. As a result, it can capture more light for rich colors and contrast. If you have used ultra-wide camera before, you have probably noticed 10 to 20% edge distortion on an average, but warp edges are not a problem on the OnePlus 9 Pro because the OnePlus 9 Pro uses a freeform lens with a series of unique curves that correct the incoming light, bringing distortion down to 1%, which means you get almost straight lines on the edges, and that's awesome. And about that, the OnePlus 9 Pro's ultra-wide camera can focus as close as 4 cm, so it doubles as a macro camera. And the best thing is, if you move your camera closer to any subject, then the phone's superb macro will kick in on its own, and it will also automatically switch back if you don't want to shoot a close-up photo. The super micro shot from 50 megapixel sensor look very good and have much more detail than a macro cameras found on most other phones. Secondly, in the middle you have a primary camera. It is a 48 megapixel Sony IMX789 sensor with an f1.8 aperture and 23mm focal length, and also each pixel has a size of 1.12 micron. This camera gets a 7p lens and optical image stabilization. OnePlus 9 Pro has large 1/1.43 inches sensor compared to the competition, and it can do 8K videos and 12-bit RAW output
which can collect 64 times the color information than the regular smartphone sensors, so it provides truly detailed image quality. Thirdly, there is also a 2 megapixel dedicated monochrome camera with an f2.4 aperture designed to work together with the primary camera, so your black and white photos are also alive with detail. And finally, at the bottom you get telephoto lens, and it contains an 8 megapixel sensor and f2.4 aperture with 3.3x optical zoom support, so that you get closer to your subject. That helps us to capture distant images in detail. And this camera gets optical image stabilization, which is good because as the focal length increases, it usually becomes difficult to keep the focus on your subject. Also, you can digitally zoom up to 30x, but the images are not that great. Anyways, it is nice to have an option to take a look at faraway objects.
The OnePlus 9 Pro has the same old 16 megapixel Sony IMX471 sensor for its front-facing camera, which has officially debuted with the OnePlus 7 series. Now you can even see it in budget phones, and it comes with an f2.4 aperture, and each pixel has a size of 1.0 microns. And this camera gets electronic image stabilization. It has a punch hole cutout at the top left corner for the front-facing camera, and it has protected by the front-facing Corning Gorilla Glass 5, which is nice. The selfies from the front-facing camera are soft, and the field of view is also not great either. You will always have to stretch your hands to shoot yourself. Moreover, it can record 1080p video at 30 frames per second and nothing more, even though the video quality and stabilization are good. But I still feel that being a flagship phone, OnePlus should have gone with the latest sensor that can shoot in higher resolution, which competitors have been providing for years. Apart from this, the front-facing camera also has fixed focus, time-lapse, face unlock, HDR, screen flash, and face retouching features.
Now, the main and ultra-wide camera can shoot 8K videos at 30 frames per second and 4K videos at 60 frames per second, which is nice. In ample light, these 8K videos turn out very good, but the 4K 120 FPS video option is only available on the primary camera. You can shoot 1080p slow motion videos at 240 FPS and 720p slow motion videos at 480 FPS for top-notch cinematic shots. It also has DOL-HDR, a technology that lets the sensor take shorter and longer exposures almost simultaneously and combines them into one HDR video. This way, regardless of lighting situation, everything in the shot comes through sharp, clear, and fully detailed. We have got a new mode called Tilt Shift that drastically reduces the depth of field, resulting in a surreal miniature effect that gives you yet another way to get creative with your photography. Even though it has always been hard to get great shots at night, but the OnePlus 9 Pro's dedicated Nightscape and Nightscape Video 2.0 are excellent. It has good exposure, enhances dynamic range, reduces the overall noise, and gives sharp and detailed images. So you can take beautiful photos and videos at night. OnePlus 9 Pro 5G has a cutting-edge 64-bit octa-core 5nm chip, and it has powered by the latest and greatest Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 processor with Adreno 660 GPU. It has 25% faster CPU performance compared to its predecessor 865 and 35% faster GPU performance. Also, it is 15% faster graphics rendering and faster processing speed than Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 Plus mobile platform. It comes with third generation of 5G built-in modem, a next generation LPDDR5 RAM, and new universal flash storage or UFS 3.1 technology.
OnePlus 9 Pro 5G comes in two variants. First, the base variant comes in 8GB of RAM with 128GB of internal storage at 64,999 rupees in India, £829 in the UK, and €899 in Europe. that is in Germany and Netherlands, €909 in Spain, €919 in France and Italy. And the top model comes in 12GB of RAM with 256GB of internal storage at 69,999 rupees in India, $1,069 in the US, 1499 Canadian dollars in Canada, £929 in the UK, and €999 in Europe. That is in Germany, Netherlands, Spain, France and Italy.
OnePlus's Oxygen OS 11 based on Android 11 comes out of the box for OnePlus 9 and 9 Pro, but it was released with the OnePlus 8T. So after few updates, OnePlus 9 Pro is currently running on 11.2.9.9, and very soon you can expect the stable release of Oxygen OS 11.3 or 12. Anyways, the Oxygen OS isn't like stock Android as it used to be, but the Android skin has enough settings and features that don't sacrifice speed and performance. And about that, the new features are designed to move the touch controls closer to your thumb to make one-handed operation easier and intuitive. So this version of Oxygen OS is faster, smoother and cleverer than ever before.
The OnePlus 9 Pro 5G is backed by 2500 mAh dual batteries attached side by side to form one large 4500 mAh battery. So the phone can charge twice as fast as any other phone. When the display is set to 120Hz adaptive refresh rate and Quad HD Plus resolution, the phone delivers a good but not spectacular endurance. Switching the display over to 60Hz, the results are better, but still not what we expect from the 4500 mAh battery. Moreover, the OnePlus Warp Charge 65 power adapter will charge 100% of 4500 mAh battery approximately in 30 minutes, which is pretty good. Secondly, the OnePlus Warp Charge 50 wireless charger will charge 100% of 4500 mAh battery approximately in 45 minutes, which is even faster than most wired chargers, and that is quite awesome. Even though it might be more convenient to use, but it costs $69.99 and it needs to buy separately. Furthermore, the dual coil charging system allows you to charge your phone when placed either vertically or horizontally. Also, when silent mode is active, power and fan speed are reduced to keep emitted noise below 23 decibel, as well as reducing the brightness of the indicator light, and that will keep the charger quiet. But you will lose out on 50 watts warp charging while silent mode is active.
Finally, OnePlus 9 Pro 5G can wireless power share, which means reverse charge your friend's phone, watch and even a wireless buds.
can protect your phone by preventing others from using your phone without your permission by activating phone's face unlock and optical in-display fingerprint sensor features. The OnePlus 9 Pro's face unlock works well, but it isn't going to be as secure because it is just using the front-facing camera. And also due to COVID-19, everyone is using the face mask. So I would recommend using an optical in-display fingerprint sensor instead, because it works very fast and accurately, and also it is very reliable to unlock the phone. But the optical in-display fingerprint sensor has placed a bit too low than we would like. It would have been better if it is placed a bit higher like the OnePlus 8 Pro. Finally, if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the little bell right next to it, so that you don't miss any of the goodness that I share on this channel. Also, be sure to share, like and drop a comment below as well. And let me know what you think of OnePlus 9 Pro 5G. And as always, thank you for watching. I am Prashant Sawant and I will see you next time.